friends, it's Christine from Spotted Horse Design Company, and in this 4-part video series, I'm going to walk you through how to make my Barnside Comfort Cardigan. So this video is video number 1, and today I'm going to teach you how to make the center square or center motif that you see here in the photo. So this sweater is written in 3 different sizes: small, medium, large, extra large, and 2X, 3X. So for this center square, the first 12 rounds are going to be the same no matter what size you are. After we work the 12th round, I will put up cards in the upper right hand corner of the screen that will tell you exactly how many stitches and how many rows you're going to need to do from that point forward, depending on whichever size you've chosen to make. In this video tutorial, I'm going to be making the 2X, 3X size, but just make sure to keep your eye on that upper right hand corner of the screen for your specific stitch count for the size that you've chosen. So for yarn today, I am using Hue and Me from Lion Brand. This is a number 5 bulky weight yarn. Choose whatever color is your favorite. You're also going to need a 7mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, and a tape measure. So to get started, we are going to make a magic ring. So use whatever your preferred method is for a magic ring. Once you've made those 16 stitches, go ahead and pull your circle closed. And now you're going to join with a slip stitch to that very first stitch you made. And your stitch count for this first round should be 16 double crochet stitches. Now to begin round 2, go ahead and chain 2. Our chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So into this very first stitch, we're going to work a 2 double crochet cluster. So to do that, yarn over, insert your hook into this very first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leave these 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert your hook back into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And that is a 2 double crochet cluster. To move forward, you're going to chain 1. And now we're going to make that 2 double crochet cluster in this next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leave these on your hook, yarn over, insert your hook back into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 3 loops. And we're going to repeat those steps. So chain 1, and now we're going to make another 2 double crochet cluster in this next stitch. Chain 1, and a double crochet, 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch. and chain 1. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put this video on pause. You're going to repeat those steps all the way around. So you're going to make a 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch, chain 1, all the way around. And I will meet you back here to finish up this round, and we'll begin round 3 together. And once you've made it all the way around, just go ahead and pause. We're going to check our stitch count really quick. You should have a total of 16 2 double crochet clusters and 16 chain 1 spaces all the way around your circle. And now to close out this round, you're going to join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch of this round. And now to begin round 3, you're going to look for that very first chain 1 space from the round below. We're going to work a slip stitch into that chain 1 space. And from here, you're going to chain 1 and work a double crochet in this chain 1 space. Chain 2. And now we're going to repeat that. So we're going to move on to our next chain 1 space. We are only working in the chain 1 spaces of this round. You're going to work a double crochet stitch in the next chain 1 space. And chain 2. Again, moving on to the next chain 1 space, double crochet, and chain 2. So go ahead and put me on pause. You're going to finish up this round, repeating these same steps. So double crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 2. Double crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 2. You're going to do that all the way around. I'll meet you here at the end of the round to finish this up, and then we'll start round 4 together. And once you've come to the end of round 3, you should have a total of 16 double crochet stitches and 16 chain 2 spaces. You should have ended this round with a chain 2. And now to close out this round, we're going to make a slip stitch in the very first stitch of this round. So to begin round 4, go ahead and chain 1. And now for this round, this is when we start to make our circle into a square. We're going to start adding corners on this round, and you're going to see that this circle shape is going to kind of go away, and we're going to start to have a square around the outside now. So to get started, we're going to work a half double crochet in this same stitch. And now we're going to work 3 half double crochet stitches in this chain 2 space. Work a single crochet in the next stitch. 3 single crochet in this chain 2 space. Single crochet in the next stitch. Three half double crochet in this chain 2 space. A half double crochet in the next stitch. So now into this next chain 2 space is where we're going to form our very first corner. We're going to work a puff stitch, chain 3, and puff stitch again. So to make a puff stitch, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into this chain 2 space, pull up a loop. We're going to repeat that twice more. yarn over, insert your hook into the same chain 2 space, pull up a loop, last time, yarn over, insert your hook into the same chain 2 space, pull up a loop. You should have 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, chain 3, and we're going to make another puff stitch. And that was our first corner. So we're going to repeat those steps again. We're going to work a half double crochet in this next stitch. We're going to work 3 half double crochet stitches in this next chain 2 space. Single crochet in the next stitch. Three single crochets in this next chain 2 space. A single crochet in this next stitch. 3 half double crochets in this next chain 2 space. A half double crochet in this next stitch. And now it's time to work another corner. We're working into this chain 2 space. We're going to work a puff stitch. Chain 3. Puff stitch. And now we've got our second corner. You can start to see it getting a little square now. So this was the first side that we worked. We made our corner, and now we worked down our second side. We've made this corner. Now we're going to work up our third side, and then finally we'll work on that fourth side. So we're just going to repeat the same steps that we've been doing. So you're going to start with a half double crochet in this next stitch. 3 half double crochets in this chain 2 space. A single crochet in the next stitch. Three single crochets in this next chain 2 space. A single crochet in the next stitch. Three half double crochets in this next chain 2 space. A half double crochet in this next stitch. And now it's time to make our next corner. That's going to be in this next chain 2 space right here. So work a puff stitch. Chain 3. And another puff stitch. So we've got our third corner down. We've just got one more side to make and one last corner to make at the very end of this. So let's repeat those steps again. We're going to work a half double crochet in this next stitch. Three half double crochet stitches in this chain 2 space. A single crochet in the next stitch. Three single crochets in this chain 2 space. A single crochet in this next stitch. Three half double crochets in this chain 2 space. A half double crochet in this next stitch. And now we're going to work our very last corner in this last chain 2 space of this round. So work a puff stitch. Chain 3. Puff stitch. And now you're going to join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch of this round. So your stitch count for this round should be 8 puff stitches, 20 single crochet stitches, 32 half double crochet stitches, and 4 chain 3 corner spaces. So before we begin round 5, go ahead and fasten off. Now we are working with the same color. We just need to reattach our yarn in one of the corner spaces to start the next round. So just go ahead and fasten that off really quick. And go ahead and find your closest chain 3 space. And we're just going to go ahead and insert our hook and reattach our yarn into a chain 3 space. Chain 1. And now we're going to make 3 double crochet stitches into this chain 3 corner space. Chain 3. And now into the same chain 3 corner space, we're going to work another 3 double crochet stitches. Now you can see we have a much more defined corner now. So to move forward, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and we're going to work a granny stitch in this next stitch. And a granny stitch is just 3 double crochet stitches all made in the same stitch. So again, you're skipping 2, and now we're going to work 3 double crochet stitches all in this same stitch. That's called the granny stitch. And now we're going to repeat those steps. So skip 2 and work a granny stitch in this next stitch. 3 double crochet stitches. Skip 2 and now a granny stitch in this next stitch. skip 2 stitches, granny stitch in this next stitch. And now you are going to skip 3 stitches, and we're going to work directly into this chain 3 corner space now. And we're going to do exactly what we did in this corner space. So we're going to work 3 double crochet stitches. Again, you're skipping over the last 3 stitches of this side and going straight into that chain 3 corner space. You're going to work 3 double crochet stitches, chain 3, and 3 more double crochet stitches. You might need to kind of pull your other stitches out of the way a little bit just to make room. And we're going to work 3 more double crochet stitches in the same chain 3 corner space. And now you should start to see a much more defined corners here on these ends. And now everything that we did on this first side, we are going to repeat for the next 3 sides. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to walk you through this next side and the next corner, and then I'm going to leave you on your own to finish up the last 2 sides. So to start this next side, we're going to skip the first 2 stitches, and we're going to work a granny stitch in this next stitch. Skip 2 stitches, granny stitch in the next stitch. Skip 2 stitches, granny stitch in the next stitch. Skip 2 stitches and work a granny stitch in this next stitch. And now you're going to skip the last 3 stitches, and we're going to work directly into this chain 3 corner space. We're going to work 3 double crochet stitches, chain 3, and 3 more double crochet stitches. So what you're going to do now is you're going to put me on pause. You're going to repeat this same row all the way across this row, make your corner just as we did, and you're going to repeat the row all the way until you get to the end. Obviously, you don't need to make the last corner because that was the first thing that we made on this round. So once you come to the end, you're simply just going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch, but I'll walk you through that. So again, put me on pause. You're just going to finish up these last two sides, and then we'll finish up this round and we'll begin round 6 together. Now, once you've made it all the way around, if you haven't already, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch of that round. And now your stitch count for round 5, You should have a total of 24 granny stitches. Remember, the granny stitch is basically this cluster. Anytime you have a cluster of three double crochets in one stitch, that's a granny stitch. So you should have a total of 24 of those and 4 chain 3 corner spaces. So to begin round 6, go ahead and chain 2. And now we're going to be working a double crochet 3 together over this granny stitch here. So we're going to be working into each of these stitches of this first granny stitch. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into this very first stitch, because our chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're going to repeat those same steps, leaving these loops on our hook. We're going to repeat those same steps in this stitch and in also the last stitch of this granny stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into that next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Last time into the last of the 3 stitches in this granny stitch, we're going to do that again. Yarn over, insert your hook into that last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and you should be left with 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4. And now it should look like you should kind of have this triangle shape. So you've got this first granny stitch kind of all coming together at the bottom, and then this one when we worked that double crochet 3 together, now you've got them all coming together at the top, so you've got kind of a triangle shape up at the top here. So now to move forward, you're going to chain 2, and we're going to do that double crochet 3 together, but we're going to do it inside this chain 3 corner space, and we're going to make 2 of those because this is our corner here. We're going to do a double crochet 3 together, chain 3, double crochet 3 together, all in this chain 3 corner space. So again, that double crochet 3 together, yarn over, insert your hook into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Repeat that 2 more times. Yarn over, insert your hook into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. One more time. Yarn over, insert your hook into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook, chain 3, and we're going to do another double crochet 3 together. So now we're going to work down our first side of round 6. So chain 2. And now we're going to work another double crochet 3 together over this very first granny stitch we have on this side. So again, you're going to be inserting your hook. You're going to be making a partial double crochet in each of the 3 stitches that make up this granny stitch. And now you're going to chain 2, and we're going to make another double crochet 3 together over each stitch of this next granny stitch. Chain 2, another double crochet 3 together over this next granny stitch, chain 2, double crochet 3 together over this next granny stitch, chain 2, double crochet 3 together once again over this next granny stitch, chain 2, and one last time we're going to work one more double crochet 3 together over this next granny stitch, and then we're going to make our corner and work up the next side. And chain 2, and now into our chain 3 corner space we are going to do just as we did on this first one. We're going to work 2 double crochet 3 togethers and a chain 3 space in the middle. So let's do that. We're going to work 1 double crochet 3 together again into this chain 3 space, chain 3, and now we're going to work another double crochet 2 together in the same chain 3 corner space. So now what I'm going to have you do is you're going to put me on pause and you are going to work this next side just as we did over here. So as soon as you finished your very first corner here, you're going to repeat those same steps on this side, work your corner, repeat that side, work your corner, and repeat the side. And of course you're just going to join with a slip stitch, join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch of this round. So go ahead and finish up round 6, and then I will meet you back here to start round 7. And once you've made it to the end of round 6, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch of the round. And now your stitch count for round 6 should be 32 double crochet 3 togethers, 28 chain 2 spaces, and 4 chain 3 corner spaces. All right, so let's begin round 7. So you're going to chain 1, and we're going to work a half double crochet into this very first stitch, since our chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And now into this chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 double crochet stitches. And you're going to work 1 half double crochet at the top of this chain, double crochet 3 together. You're going to work a half double crochet in the top of that. And now that's going to bring us to our corner space. So into this chain 2 corner space, you're going to work 2 half double crochet stitches, chain 2, and still working into the chain 2 this time, chain 2 corner space. You're going to work 2 half double crochet stitches. So this corner on this round is going to be 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets. So now we're going to work down the first side. We've made our first corner of this round. Now we're going to work down this side. It's a very easy repeat. So I'm going to walk you through the sequence a couple of times, and then we'll crochet together down this row, and then I'll walk you through the corner one more time. And then I'm going to leave you to it for the other 3 sides. So to get started on this first side, it's very, very simple. We're going to start by working a half double crochet in the top of this double crochet 3 together. And then we're going to work into this chain 2 space. We're going to make 2 half double crochet stitches. And that's it. That's the repeat all the way across. So I'm going to walk you through that just a few more times, and then I will leave you on your own for this side. So again, we're going to work in the top of this double crochet 3 together. You're going to work a half double crochet. And now you're going to work 2 half double crochets in the chain 2 space. Half double crochet in the top of the double crochet 3 together, and 2 half double crochets in the chain 2 space. So I'm going to go ahead and crochet along silently with you for the remainder of this side. I'll walk you through the corner one more time, and then I'm going to leave you on your own for the other 3 sides. So once you've made it all the way across, we're going to make one more. If you haven't already, maybe you have, you're going to make one last half double crochet on this side in the very last double crochet 3 together of this side. And now we're going to make our next corner. So we're going to work 2 half double crochet stitches into this chain 3 corner space. Chain 2, and 2 half double crochets again in the same chain 3 corner space. So if you need to, you can go back to the timestamp for this round, and you're just going to repeat. So after we made this corner, you're going to repeat the same steps, remembering to work one final half double crochet in this very last double crochet 3 together of this row. You're going to make your corner, repeat those same steps, make your corner, and you're just going to continue to repeat that all the way around, and just go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch of this round. So go ahead, finish up round 7, and then I'll meet you back here for round 8. So welcome back. If you haven't already, go ahead and finish up this round by joining with a slip stitch to the very first stitch. And now your final stitch count for this round, this is starting to be too big to show you the whole thing in the frame, but your final stitch count should be 26 half double crochet stitches along each side. Okay, and you should also have a total of 4 chain 2 corner spaces. So to get started on round 8, chain 1. Now we're going to be working into the 3rd loops of these half double crochets on this round. So you're going to kind of pull your work in towards you so that you can access that 3rd loop that's on the back of your work here. So with that being said, we're going to start off by working our first half double crochet in the 3rd loop in the very first stitch here. And this is always the hardest one to me. And after that, they're a lot easier. And now you're going to work a half double crochet third loop in each stitch all the way until you get to this first chain 2 corner space. Now once you've made it to this chain 2 corner space, we're going to work 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more half double crochets into this chain 2 space. And now working down this next side, you're going to work 1 half double crochet in the third loop all the way across until you get to this next chain 2 space. So once you've made it all the way across, we're going to work into our next corner space. You're going to work 2 half double crochet stitches, chain 2, and 2 more half double crochet stitches, again into the chain 2 corner space. And now you are simply going to repeat this same side. So you've just made your corner. Now you're going to continue working just as we did after making this corner. We worked half double crochets all in the third loop all the way across. So you're going to do that here. Work your corner just as we did here, and then repeat and repeat, and then you will join with a slip stitch at the end of this round. So go ahead and put me on pause, finish up round 8, and I'll meet you back here to start round 9. All right, now to begin round 9, go ahead and chain 2. So in round 9, there are places where we skip 2 and places where we skip 3 stitches. So just make sure you're paying attention to that, because I don't want you to end up in the wrong spot. So into this first stitch here, we're going to work a granny stitch. And if you don't remember, that's just 3 double crochet stitches all made in the same stitch. And now we're going to skip 3 stitches, and we're going to work a granny stitch in the next stitch. Skip 3 stitches, and that's going to bring us to our corner space. And we're going to work a granny stitch, chain 3, and a granny stitch all in this chain 2 corner space. So again, this first corner should have a granny stitch, chain 3, granny stitch. So now we're going to work down our first side, and remember, like I said, we're going to sometimes skip 3 stitches, sometimes only skip 2, so just make sure you are paying attention to that. So we're going to start by skipping 3 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work a granny stitch in this next stitch. Whoops. Oh my goodness. And now we're going to skip 3 one more time. So 1, 2, 3, and work another granny stitch. Now we're only going to skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, granny stitch. Skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, granny stitch. Skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, granny stitch. Skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, granny stitch. This is the last time on this side we're going to skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, granny stitch. Now we're going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do a granny stitch. And we're going to skip 3 stitches again, 1, 2, 3, and that's going to bring us to our corner, where we're going to do a granny stitch, chain 3, granny stitch, all in this corner. Chain 3, and a granny stitch. So I'm just going to run through the chain, or the skip 2 and skip 3. So you make your corner, you skip 3 stitches the first 2 times, and then you skip 2 stitches 5 times in a row. And then you're going to skip 3 stitches for the last 2 times. So here and here, and that's going to bring you to your corner. So this side, you're going to skip 3 stitches twice, and then you're going to skip only 2 stitches 5 times, and then the last 2 times you will skip 3 stitches. So if you need to, go back to the timestamp that starts at the beginning of this row and just continue to have that on repeat for these next 3 sides. Okay, everything's going to be done the same exact way. The corners and the skip 3s and the skip 2s are all going to be the same for each side. So go ahead and finish up this round. This is round 9, and then I will meet you back here and we will begin round 10. And welcome back. If you have not already, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch at the end of round 9. So to begin round 10, go ahead and chain 2. So we're going to start by working a double crochet 3 together over this first granny stitch here. We did that a couple of rounds below, so if you don't remember how to do that, I'll walk you through the first stitch. So just a refresher, we make a partial double crochet. We work into each of the 3 stitches that make up this granny stitch. So to begin, yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we're going to repeat that in this next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into that next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we're going to repeat that in the third stitch of this granny stitch. And now you should have 4 loops on your hook. To complete the stitch, you'll yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Chain 2. And now we are going to repeat that for this next granny stitch here. So we're going to work another double crochet 3 together over this next granny stitch. Chain 2. And we're going to repeat that again over this next granny stitch here. This is the last one of this side. Chain 2. And now in this corner space, we are going to do a double crochet 3 together, just as we have been doing. Chain 3, and then another double crochet 3 together, all in this corner space right here. So we're going to make our first double crochet 3 together, chain 3, and we're going to do another double crochet 3 together, still working in this corner space. And that's our first corner of round 10. So to begin working down our first full side here, after you've made this corner, you're going to chain 2, and now over every granny stitch, we are going to make a double crochet 3 together over every granny stitch, just as we did starting out over here. Okay, we made those 3 double crochet 3 togethers over these Once you've made it all the way down that first side, we're going to work into this chain 3 corner space. We're going to do a double crochet 3 together, chain 3, double crochet 3 together, just like we did in this corner. So we'll start with a double crochet 3 together, chain 3, and a double crochet 3 together, still working into this chain 3 corner space. So what you're going to do now is you're going to put me on pause, and you're going to go back and repeat the same steps that we just did after we made this chain, or I'm sorry, after we made this corner space here. You're going to repeat those same steps down this side, make your corner, repeat those same steps for the side, the next side, repeat the corner, and then lastly, you're going to be on this last side, and as always, you will join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch on that very last side. So once again, if you need to, you can go back to the timestamps, go back to the beginning of this row, this round, follow the steps after this corner all the way around, and then I'll meet you back here for round 11. And welcome back. If you haven't already, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch of this round. And now your final stitch count for round 10 should be 40 double crochet 3 togethers, 44 chain 2 spaces, and 4 chain 3 corner spaces. So to begin round 11, go ahead and chain 2, and you're going to double crochet in the very first stitch of this round. And now we're going to work 2 double crochet stitches in the chain 2 space. Work another double crochet in the top of the double crochet 3 together from the round below. And 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. Double crochet in the top of the double crochet 3 together. And 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. And then 1 last double crochet for this side in the top of this last double crochet 3 together from the round below. And now it's time to work our corner. So into this corner space, we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. So let's do that. There's our first 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, all in this chain 3 corner space. So to begin working down this first full side, we're going to work a double crochet in this first double crochet 3 together in the top, I guess I should say in the top of this double crochet 3 together from the round below. And now we're going to work into this chain 2 space. We're going to make 2 double crochet stitches. And we're going to continue to repeat that. So working into the top of this next double crochet 3 together, you're going to work a double crochet stitch. And now we're going to work 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. Double crochet in the top of the double crochet 3 together. and 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. So I'm going to go ahead and crochet along with you. We're just going to repeat those steps all the way across, and you are going to end with 1 double crochet in the top of this very last chain, or I'm sorry, I keep calling them chain 3, this last double crochet 3 together, and then we'll work our corner. Once you've made it all the way to the end, don't forget to make 1 final double crochet in the top of the very last double crochet 3 together from the round below. And now to work our corner, we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all in this chain 3 corner space. So I'm going to leave you on your own for a little bit. You're going to go ahead, and if you need to go back to the timestamp for this round, and after this first corner we worked, you're just going to repeat this row all the way across the bottom, and then back across the very last side. And of course you're going to make your corners just as we did for these first 2 corners. And then I will meet you back here for round 12. And once you've made it to the end of round 11, if you haven't already, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch. And now your final stitch count for round 11 should be 34 double crochet stitches along each side and 4 chain 2 corner spaces. To begin round 12, go ahead and chain 2. And now we are going to work 1 double crochet stitch in this first stitch and in each stitch all the way until our first chain 2 corner space. Once you've made it to this first chain 2 corner space, you're going to double crochet 2 into the corner space, chain 2, and double crochet 2 double crochets again into the same corner space. And now the rest of round 12 is very simple. You're just going to work 1 double crochet stitch in every stitch all the way across each side. And you're going to work your corner just as we just did. So now I'm going to put up our first sizing card here in the upper right hand corner of the screen. So once you finish round 12, you are going to continue to repeat round 12. If you are making the size small/medium, you are going to repeat round 12 until you reach 15 rounds total. 15 rounds meaning starting from here, not 15 rounds of round 12, okay? So you'd start from here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way, and this is round 12. You will repeat round 12 until you have 15 rounds total. If you are making the size large/extra large, you're going to repeat round 12 until you have 16 rounds total. And for size 2X/3X, you're going to repeat until you have reached a total of 17 rounds. So just to recap, round 12 is simply going to be a double crochet stitch in every stitch all the way across the row. And then in the corner space, you're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets to make your corner, just as you did on this first corner here. And then you're just going to repeat that for all the sides. Double crochet stitch in every stitch all the way across, work your corner, okay? So that's what round 12 is going to look like. And again, check this card in the upper right hand corner of the screen so you know how many repeats you need to make of round 12 for your chosen size. So go ahead and work on these rounds, and then I will meet you back here. We will finish up together and we will talk about the next steps of making this sweater. All right, welcome back. So we just put on our finishing rounds. Now I am making the 2X, 3X size of this sweater. So I have a total, counting up from the middle. I can't lay this out flat anymore. I got to fold it in half. But counting up from the middle, from our very first round, all the way to the last round I made, I have 17 rounds. So if you are also making the 2X, 3X size, you will have 17 rounds. If you are making the large/extra large, you would have ended here at round 16. And if you're making the small/medium, you would have ended here at round 15. So let's just take a second really quick to measure our squares. So mine, again, I have the 2X, 3X size. Mine is measuring 28 inches. I don't know if you can see that here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Mine's measuring at 28 inches. If you are making the small medium, yours should measure 24. If you're making the large/extra large, yours should measure 26 inches. And that, my friends, concludes this video of my sweater tutorial series. So you can go ahead and move on to video number 2, where I show you how we make the sides and seam them up.